Welcome to meditation. We'll meditate for 20 minutes. And just to begin our time together, I'm reflecting on the 12 powers, and the power for this month is strength, the ability to persevere, to stay the course in all circumstances. The service will begin in 10 minutes.
Can we give it up for Jeremy and the Renegade Monks? Good morning, everyone. The weather is amazing, isn't it? Woo. Oh, so you'll notice that 3 of the palm trees have come down in the rain yesterday. They managed to take down 3 of them safely. They couldn't get to all 5, though. So that's hopefully, so we're going to hold that tomorrow and on Tuesday, there are big enough windows in the storm system that's supposed to come through that they can take down the last 2 and get rid of the trunks, right? Oh, it's very exciting. I think when you step out there, you're going to realize how much more spacious it all feels out there, right? How we have a sense of space now. So if you don't know who I am, good morning, everybody. I went right into business, right? I'm Reverend DeeAnn Morency. It's my joy and my privilege to be the senior minister here at Unity in Marin. And I am just, I love this space. I love our campus. I love all the care and love that comes from the community to maintain our campus. All the people, the facilities team, can we just give them some love right now? Because, Kevin has been working so hard. She was out there in the rain all day yesterday, taking pictures as it happened. If you're new to Unity, or maybe it's been a while, we are a community that is anchored in love, that the understanding of our divine capacity, that we are the living beingness of love in time and in space. And that enables us to live into this life with all of its circumstances and conditions from an anchored understanding of the truth of who we are. And we get to do and see that for each other, which for me is really the biggest gift that we have when we come together in spiritual community. So that when I forget my divine self, someone is there to reflect back to me the truth of who I actually am. And when one of you forgets your divine self, someone else is there to reflect back to you the truth of who you are. And it's this sacred container that we are creating together that is Unity in Marin. So we have an opening song. Our guest vocalist today is the fabulous and amazing Deborah Winters, first and foremost. And Momo Cortez is going to be leading us in our opening song.
I get the honor and privilege of singing Carolyn Gautier's beautiful song, so please join me. Quieting, quieting, quieting my mind. Quieting, quieting, quieting my mind. I am present now. I am present now. Centering, centering, centered in my soul. Centering, centering, centered in my soul. Ooh, I am present now. I am present now. Opening, opening, opening. Opening my heart. Ooh, I am present now. I am present now. Ooh, I am present now. Ooh, now.
So I am present, and I am presence. The invitation is to breathe into this space, this place that we are creating here together in consciousness. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise. I'm going to invite Wendy Miley to come forward with the prayer box. And the prayer chaplains are going to encircle this community, and I invite anyone who identifies themselves as someone who is holding consciousness for this community and for the world to feel free to join. We're holding you on the live stream just as well. So, as we breathe as the presence, the invitation is to allow whatever it took to get here this morning, breathe it away. That's the invitation. Let it go. During this season of Lent, Unity understands that this is an opportunity to release what no longer serves. So I invite you in this moment to consciously choose to unhook yourself from whatever the day-to-dayness is, as we open our heart, as we quiet our mind, and as we welcome the stillness at the very center of our being. Breathing and being breathed. How grateful I am for this opportunity to recognize that one power and that one presence, that one life, that one love that truly is all that there is, revealing itself as all that there is. So it is my life, it is your life, it is the life of all who are watching, it is the life that is Unity in Marin, and it is the life of all who are in agreement with this consciousness of love and truth. And it is from this awareness of the wholeness that is our true nature and our true name that I speak this word blessing this time, right here, right now. Blessing each of us, wherever we are on our spiritual journey, all are welcome here. I see and I know that love is available and accessible. I see and I know that health and wholeness and vitality, that life itself is invigorating all of us, that our yes, as we anchor the spiritual truth of who we truly are, in that space, everything is possible. So I see prosperity and abundance, I see love and light, I see connection and community, and I see so much joy. So the invitation right now is to allow that joy to connect with each person here. Allow that joy to connect with those who are watching on live stream. Allow that joy to expand outward. We are here to share our gifts, our talents, our spiritual awareness with the world. And I see and I know that in that yes, we truly are creating a world that works for everyone. And gratitude for this and so much more right here, right now. I know that this is already done. And I invite you to know this with me, with this affirmation, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Peace and blessings, everyone. You may be seated. So our inspirational reading today is coming from the Lent booklet, Let Go and Let God, which is available in the lobby. It's available in the chairs in front of you. Please feel free. It's free. Take them. Take as many as you like. Share them with people. And I'm going to turn it over to Gabrielle.
Good morning, Unity. It is now time for our inspirational reading to let these words from Unity's Lent booklet, Let Go and Let God, become part of your morning reflection, your morning meditation or prayer. I invite you in this moment to take a deep breath and pause. So close your eyes if you wish. I invite you to let these words become your words. The affirmation for today is, on this day of Lent, I let go of shame. I embrace my Christ nature and shower myself with compassion and love. Shame comes from believing we are not enough and are unworthy of belonging. We make mistakes and then fall into the trap of shame and guilt. The more we do this, the more we believe we are separate from God and unworthy of our divine identity. It also keeps us from fully being vulnerable and connecting with others at deeper levels. On this day of Lent, we can seek to heal our self-judgments and grow in our capacity for self-love. It becomes easier to release shame when we remember our own Christ nature. Yes, sometimes we miss the mark, but that does not change the truth that we are worthy of love and belonging. Through our spiritual practices, our faith in our wholeness and divine identity is strengthened. We show ourselves self-compassion and remember that nothing we can ever do can separate us from the love God is. Once again, the affirmation for today is, on this day of Lent, I let go of shame. I embrace my Christ nature and shower myself with compassion and love. Please know this with me.
On this day of Lent,
I let go of shame. I embrace my Christ nature and shower myself with compassion and love. Thank you.
Good morning, Unity. Thank you, Gabrielle. All right. Happy Sunday. All right. We can connect with text, right? Oh, before that? That's first. We are the welcome team, all of us. All right. Raise your hands. All right. I think we do a really good job of connecting with each other, so yay, yay for us. We do have a little potluck in the courtyard, as long as the sun remains out. Otherwise, I guess we'll go indoors. And first-time guests, there's a gift on the side. Reverend DeeAnn will be standing there waiting to greet you. And there's a board table outside, and I realize I'm the board person today outside. So if you have any questions, see me at the table, especially if you want to renew your membership. You got my email, phone calls? All right, spiritual connection card. You can connect with text, 415-991-7111. We also have in your bulletin, again, I always love the sound. Tear that out, put your information on there. If you have a prayer request, you can put that there as well. DeeAnn responds to all of your inquiries. Also, our online calendar is up to date for the 2024 events. So there's a lot going on this year. So do check it out and make your plans accordingly. Linda and I watch the game. We don't watch football, and if you want to blame the loss on us, all right. Good news is we have a rookie 49er here today. Actually, they're here a lot. He only has a 1-year contract. Shay, can you stand up? Shay is 49 today. Wow. All right. Welcome to the 49er Club. Now our flower sponsor today is Bonnie Abby. So happy birthday, Shay. And the flowers are arranged by Wendy Miley. Thank you, Wendy. And you can always see Charcel if you want to sponsor flowers or the Hospitality, thank you. All right, our mission statement, if you can read this with me. Unity in Marin is a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. And our core values: connectivity, inclusivity, authenticity. And connectivity, I keep saying connectivity like it's a Wi-Fi thing. Is it connectivity. All right, let's know this together. Living in an awareness of unity with all. We open to divine inspiration and actively engage with spirit. We honor the divinity of all through loving service. We enjoy and appreciate having fun together. Yes. All right. I'd like to invite Reverend DeeAnn up.
We as a community always want to honor and appreciate those who show up in sacred service, those who give of their talent and their time so magnificently. And so we honored the ushers on the day that it was storming and not a lot of people were here. So we're going to honor them again so they can truly be appreciated. So we have a fabulous usher team. We have Tom Brown, Francine, Joni DeGabriel, Cindy Hall, James Henry, Brandy Jones, who is a fabulous leader of the ushers, Lindsay Klump, Wendy Miley, Patrick Rainey, Margaret Stowowie, and Anna Webb. If you're here, could you please stand up so we can give you some love? Being an usher is incredibly important because it's the first experience that somebody new has when they walk in through the doors. So if you are interested in supporting the ushers, please go talk to Brandy. You don't have to serve every Sunday, right? So go talk to Brandy, see if you want to rotate in one Sunday a month. All the service we can get, that place is just key to remember our sense of being part of the welcome team. Being an usher is one way to actually really live into that more fully. Before I move on to that, I also want the facilities team, I know we celebrated them in the beginning, but can you stand up, facilities team, please? They are amazing. Can we please give them some love? The maintenance of this campus is the equivalent of 2 full-time jobs. And this facilities team does that out of their love for this community and for the campus. So yeah, we can't really thank them enough. And Kevin was the all-star this past 2 weeks. So, it is our 60th anniversary this year. Yay, right? 60 years strong. And so we're looking to create a photo presentation. We're looking to create a celebration. I've been in touch with Bill, and he's going to be coming back for that Sunday. And Tim is going to try to come back for that Sunday. And I'm going to reach out to Medora. So I'm trying to do a big woohoo, like we're awesome, right? So we're creating a photo presentation for that. So if you have photos from Unity and Marin, especially the older photos, that will help us create some sort of a photo sense of how we have evolved and grown over the years, please talk to Bonnie Abbey. She is a superstar and has said that she will help sort of coordinate and organize. And then Shay's son has said he'll take all those photos and he's going to turn it into a little movie. All right? So if you have photos, please go talk to Bonnie. And if you'd like to help with the organizing and the flow of it all, talk to Bonnie. We're finalizing dates. It depends on when people can come, so we're working it out. As soon as we know, everyone will know. So now, without further ado, the fabulous and incredible Deborah Winters.
Thank you. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. And where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me as me. And where I doubt, God is the faith in me. And where I cry, God is the comfort there. And where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. And where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me as me. Yeah. Yeah. I am. Where I am, where I stand, and where I play, where I work and I breathe and I move and I be. Sing, where I dance, where we dance, where I dance, where you dance, where we dance, wherever I go, where I pray, where I live, where I take, where I give, where I leave. God is. Life is. Joy is. God is.
I don't need to talk, right? Because that's it. I mean, everything I talk about, that's it. That space where it is. So we are in week 3 of Discover Your Divinity. The books are available again in the bookstore, so feel free to pick one up if you would like. Linda Martellowitz, who is one of my dearest colleagues and companions on this journey. If you don't know who Linda is, she was the vice president of Silent Unity for many years. She wrote How to Pray Without Talking to God, and she wrote Divine Audacity, and she and I worked together to write this book. And not to toot my own horn too much or anything, but I will say this is the first book on affirmative prayer that Unity has printed since the 60s. It was desperately needed. Can I just say that? It was necessary, it was needed. And so the idea behind Discover Your Divinity is that God is, I am. So when someone like Deborah sings this and she inhabits it, and that was a prayer. Can you feel that? That was affirmative prayer. That was her inhabiting something, singing from the truth of what she knows to be absolutely true. And could you feel that sort of ignite your own awareness of who you truly are? And that's the whole point of affirmative prayer. The book is how many pages? That is the heart of it. To realign ourselves with the truth of who we actually are. And we get to do that in our own personal prayer life, and we get to do that with each other. We get to do what Deborah did. We get to hold that space for each other. And that is the place where transformation happens. That is the place where healing happens. That's how we actually are transformed. And when I am transformed and you are transformed, and we as a community come together and say, yes, we are willing to be transformed, then guess what? The world is transformed. And woo, does this world need healing? We have that much power. Just breathe into that for a moment, because I know it's all too easy to feel powerless in the midst of everything that might be going on in our own personal life, everything that might be going on in the world. And that is the point of affirmative prayer, to remember the truth of our spiritual authority. We realign with our true nature and consciously live from our divinity. And the heart of affirmative prayer, there's 5 movements to the process that Linda and I have laid out. The heart of it are these 3. God is, I am, therefore I can. Everybody say that. God is, I am, therefore I can. And I've had a number of people come up to me and say, that got me through my week. That got me through what was going on in my life, being able to just say, God is, I am, therefore I can navigate whatever is coming up in life. And so if you're looking at me like, whoa, just know that the 2 previous talks that I did are available on our YouTube channel, so you can watch those. But the heart of affirmative prayer is, let's say God is wisdom. That means I am wisdom, which means I can choose wisely and well. I can discern clearly. Can you feel how what we're doing is using a divine idea, which can be really airy-fairy, and we're creating a space for us to actually be able to live it, to live into it. So we have been focusing quite a bit, actually, on the foundational principles, which really are God is. We have been spending a couple weeks talking about this idea of how Unity understands that God is. So we have been practicing how to recognize God. And what that just means is, how do we understand it? And most importantly, what would be useful right now? That's affirmative prayer. What would be useful right now? So we have the prime principle, oneness. There's only one power, there's only one presence, God is all there is. We have from the prime principle oneness, if there is only one, then we know that this godness, this allness, remember God is not a being, God is beingness. We have omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, meaning there's powerfulness everywhere. There is consciousness everywhere. There is the all-pervading presence everywhere. And how we hold, Linda and I hold, and I'm going to urge you to hold this too, is that we're moving away from the word good, because that makes God feel like there's also a bad somewhere, and we really struggle with that dualistic language as it is. And instead, we invite you into goodness, which is a state of being of good. Does that make sense to everybody? And goodness, how we understand it in unity, means there are no opposites. There's no antichrist. There's no devil. There is nothing that stands in opposition to the one power and the one presence. Because if there was, then it wouldn't be one power. So out of that goodness, we then have qualities of the divine, the 12 powers and divine qualities. So this is kind of a review of what we've been talking about. So again, if you're like, I want to know more about that, you can watch the 2 previous talks. So the qualities of the divine are how we recognize God. And I would say it's also how we make God useful. Because I don't know about you, but right, that bigness, the allness, like what do I do with that? What we're doing with the qualities of the divine is finding a way to actually recognize what would be useful to me right now. So we have qualities like creativity and joy and abundance and light and understanding and grace and harmony. When we are using and accessing these divine qualities, just like goodness, just like oneness, there are no opposites to it. There is nothing that can stand in opposition to these divine qualities. And then we, of course, in unity have the 12 powers. And the 12 powers, if you're like, wow, that's a lot, pick one power. And in the book, in the back at the end of chapter 6, I think, actually, there's a list of all the powers and how you can activate them within yourself. Pick one. Pick one power that you are going to practice and live into, because we can go back the other way. Every single one of these divine qualities will take us back to oneness. Can you feel that? It goes both directions. So it doesn't matter which power you pick, really. It's all taking you to the same space in consciousness. But our humanness needs something to kind of grab onto. So, from all of this, we talked last week about the creative process. These 3 terms all mean the same thing. Creative process, love, mind, action, and divine order. They all mean the exact same thing. If you are an old school new thoughter, you know love, mind, action. All right? The language is always evolving, because what we understand now is that it's not just our mind, it's not just our thoughts, divorced from our emotions and our body and our beingness, that is actually what needs to be part of this creative process. So, mind, idea, expression. And please remember, when I say mind, I mean all of you, not just what you identify as my head. We often separate it, right? My head, my heart. When we say mind, I want you to think everything. So we start off with mind, the biggest thing possible. It starts to get a little bit more specific, where we have an idea, an embodiment, a state of being out of that allness. And then the manifestation in time and in space, which happens through us. Because remember, what does affirmative prayer change? Us. It's changing us. So that expression, that manifestation of the idea in time and space is happening within us. And I use this example of like oneness, infinite allness, and then we can pick a divine quality or a 12th power, what would be useful right now. And from that, we can express something in time and in space. Can you feel how this mirrors God is? I am, therefore I can. It's all the same process, just different ways of sort of holding it for yourself. So that idea that we can also go back up into the oneness, and we can go from the oneness back down into expression, nothing's separated, nothing's outside. So what we would say is that absolute truth or spiritual principle becomes known. We can see it. It's not invisible anymore. We can see it in our human experience. And so what we could also say is that behind all that is visible lies an invisible principle. Can you feel that? Everything that manifests, I'm going to go back to this picture, everything that manifests in time and in space is arising from a spiritual principle. This includes us. This includes us. Are we visible? Then that means there is the invisible power that is back of us, that is our blueprint, that is the truth, that is the underlying field, that is the very truth of our being. Behind all that is visible lies an invisible principle. And what we're doing in affirmative prayer is consciously choosing which of these invisible principles we want to make visible in time and in space. We are the place where mind, idea, expression happens. We are the creative process. We are divine order. It is all happening as us. So we have God is, and then we get to I am. Anybody in here struggle with this one? The idea that somehow we are divine? I do. I'll be totally honest. I will cop to it. There are days when I am so far away from strength that it just feels like it's on the other side of the Grand Canyon. The idea that I can be strong and steadfast and have courage and tenacity feels impossible. So how do we step into this place of the I am? So in our movement, we call it integration. We're integrating the I am. So it means that I can stand in my spiritual authority. It means that I can accept that I am a divine human. Now, this is in classical New Thought, there's this distinction between the I am being our spiritualness and our humanness. And Linda and I both believe that it's not about disowning our ego. It's not about slaying the ego. It's not about killing the ego. It is about integrating the ego and our spiritual awareness so that our ego is in service to our greatest good. Because is our ego visible in time and in space? Does that mean there's an invisible principle behind it? Yes. So what we want to do is begin to access those deeper principles rather than just operating on a surface level. Charles Fillmore says, if you are looking at yourself or any other person in any way but as the God person, you are really lying to yourself about yourself or others. I mean, he's not holding back here, right? He's not holding back anything. We lie to ourselves all the time. We say, I am the exception. I am not part of whatever this wholeness is, whatever this love is, whatever this abundance is, whatever this infinite potential is. So what blocks us from claiming our divine nature? What is it? And so we have embedded theology. That was perhaps the spiritual framework that you might have been raised within. It might have been all about duality, and you're a sinner, and God is up there in the cloud. We have the myths we were told about ourselves. How many people in here grew up being told they were a bad girl, or a good girl, or you have to be a good girl, or all those myths that we were told as we were growing up? And then we, of course, have the stories we tell about ourselves, because we love our narratives, right? We love the story that our ego has decided is like the best thing, and it makes us look so good and shiny and fabulous and perfect. And then we have the beliefs. All of that becomes beliefs that we have about ourselves, beliefs we even have about the world, about the way the world works, around what the cosmology is that we are living in. Einstein said what the most important question you can ask yourself is, do you live in a friendly or an unfriendly universe? So these are the things that block us from being able to claim our divine identity. And can you feel how challenging these are? Some of these are in there. Yeah? So here's my pitch. Come take the quantum living class on Saturday, because the whole process for quantum living is designed to help you break free of those myths, messages, and beliefs that you have internalized, that you somehow believe are active in your life. And it offers a clear process to be able to identify and transform those beliefs based on the truth of who you are, not what other people might have told you. So if you've taken the class before, it's totally free. Come on Saturday. Everyone who comes needs to buy a workbook, though. Even if you've taken it before, you got to start clean, right? You got to start with a clean workbook. And let me say this: no one is turned away. If the cost of the class is the obstacle to you discovering your divinity, wipe it away. If you are interested in this class, come and take this class, okay? No one will be turned away. This work is too important. Even if you don't have time to do the full 21 days with everyone, come to the Saturday class. Come and engage with the process, and know that, of course, I will be teaching it again. Because really the question is, and this is the thing I wrestle with all the time, somehow we think that by not claiming our divine identity, that we're being humble, that we're somehow, being a better person by not being so big for our britches. But who are we not to claim our spiritual nature? Who are we to deny ourselves a complete sense of self? To deny the spiritual self is like denying the air we breathe. It's invisible, and yet it's essential. And when you look at the epidemic of loneliness that is going on in this world, that is all about separation. Can you feel that? When loneliness is all about feeling separate. We have the antidote here. We do. We absolutely have the antidote to all of this. And some of the arguments that I've navigated as I teach this to other people is this idea that I can't be all of God. That's just like, whoa, how could I possibly be all of God? And what Linda and I would say is that just because you can't be all of God, does that mean that you can't be one aspect of God? Do you have to throw everything out because you feel as if the allness of God is too big for you? All you have to do is pick one aspect of the nature of God, one principle in any moment. You never have to be the allness of God. Can we take a big sigh of relief? You just need to say, what one aspect am I going to say yes, I am to in this moment? What you recognize and integrate, you can realize. Can you feel how that flow works? There's a flow to the affirmative prayer process, right? It flows. So we start off with God is, and then we say, oh, if God is that, then I am that. And if I know I am that, then whoa, I have all these possibilities available to me. Possibilities that I wasn't noticing, that I wasn't paying attention to. I can, I have, I know. Strength, if God is strength and I am strength, I actually can be strong and steadfast. I actually can have courage and tenacity. That is absolutely available to me to bring to whatever circumstance or condition or experience I find myself being buffeted by. I can access that. And here's the thing, if strength feels too far away, remember my Grand Canyon? Strength can feel too far away sometimes. Pick another one. Pick one that doesn't feel so far away. I mean, it's like it's that easy in some way to say, oh, strength, that just feels like I can't be the I am of strength. But you know, I actually can be the I am of wisdom. I can be that. I can feel that as being organic and real in my body, in my mind, in my belief system. And if I'm wisdom, then I know exactly what to do in order to feel capable. Yes, everyone still with me? Realizing I can, I have, I know. This is the fourth movement in the prayer process. It's the awareness of what becomes possible. It's a new understanding arising, anchored in spiritual truth, not our human experience, anchored in spiritual truth. And that realization is I call it the aha moment, where all of a sudden we're able to see that something else is possible. Something that, when we start the prayer process, I don't know about you, but me, I usually start off really tight, and I can't see anything except my own suffering. That's all I can see in the moment. Or if I can see something else, like I said, it feels like it's all the way over on the other side of the Grand Canyon. The process is designed to quiet the human-only perspective and to bring the spiritual perspective into focus, into the picture. And then it is through realization that my humanness now gets to do something with it. It's how I make it real is through me. Realization precedes demonstration. A realization is the fulfillment in mind of an idea before there is a manifestation. Without the realization moment where we are realigned with the truth of our being in a brand new way, we cannot manifest. We call it trouble at the border. Can't get it into manifestation. Right? Can't actually make something show up in time and in space. Myrtle Fillmore says this, which I love. God is life. We make that life into living. God is love. We make divine love into loving. God is substance. We take the substantial reality and bring it through into the manifest world. We are the creative process. And we're doing it all the time. Whether you're bringing consciousness to it or not. How many people in here have found themselves feeling like they're stuck in the same pattern again and again and again? Some way of being that just keeps circling back around. It's never exactly the same because we grow and evolve, but sometimes it just feels like the spiral upward doesn't really spiral upward as much as we would like. God is life. We make that life into living. So it is, God is, I am, therefore I can. Can we say that together one more time? And can you feel how useful this all is? One of my personal pet peeves around prayer is I hear people do the God is and the I am, but they don't realize it. God is love, and I am love, and so all my relationships are loving. It's great, don't get me wrong, it's a great affirmation, all my relationships are loving, but where's the action of it? Where's the living into that space of love? So what I would invite you into is that God is love, I am loving, therefore I can show up as harmony in all of my relationships. Can you feel the difference between I am the harmonizing force of love in all of my relationships is very different than saying all my relationships are loving. Right? You can feel the difference. And this is the place where, you got to be willing to change. You have to be willing to not be the same person at the end of your affirmative prayer as you were at the beginning of your affirmative prayer. Somehow what we want is for us to start our affirmative prayer, and then we want the entire world to readjust itself to make it work out exactly the way we want it to. The adjustment of the world is within you. That is where transformation actually happens. So can you feel how all of this is anchored and rooted in our spiritual authority? And that is the gift that Unity and New Thought gives to the world. The idea that we have spiritual authority. I don't have spiritual authority because I'm a minister. That's not where my spiritual authority comes from. My spiritual authority comes from all the work I did to root out the things that were standing in the way of me being able to own my divine nature. And let me be really clear, I'm not done. I know that. I'm very aware that I am not done. My wife is very aware that I am not done. The board can be very aware that I'm not always done, right? But that's where we get to come together with each other, to hold each other as we grow and evolve and realize the truth of who we actually are. So let's take this into our time of meditation. Let's breathe into, whatever is arising for you, whatever is alive for you. And I'm going to invite, if you would like, I'm going to walk us through a brief guided meditation of God is, I am, therefore I can. So we breathe into that space, that place, and to the best of our ability, we allow stillness, we allow truth, we allow light, we allow love, just dropping down or rising up or just stepping into full beingness. We open into the infinite potential that is always there. God is always available. And just allow yourself to recognize the oneness, the wholeness, the infinite allness that is beyond words. And from that infinite allness, I invite you in this moment to just allow one quality. What is useful to you right now? One quality, one power, something that in this moment, it has no opposites. It is that divine idea. What would be useful in this moment? Peace or love or joy or beauty or harmony, grace, creativity, zeal, power. And allow that divine quality to emerge, to be familiar, whatever that means to you. It's recognizing what it is. And then in this moment, the invitation is to allow it to be the truth of your being. To allow peace to be your very nature and name. To allow love or joy or beauty or creativity to be right here, right now. Allow yourself to be divinely human. And from this space, the invitation is to realize, to make real. What is it that you are now capable of doing, of being, of knowing, of seeing, of acting upon in time and in space? And the invitation right now is we're going to rest in the silence as we allow, therefore I can, to emerge within us. What do we now understand is possible? How good it is to allow this stillness. And I invite you right now to just see yourself doing what it is you know you can do and be right now. See it playing out in your day. How are you changed? How are you realigned? What is now possible that you can, with intentionality, live into more consciously? How grateful I am for this opportunity to be still and know God is, I am, therefore I can. And in this space, I just welcome all that is making itself known and my willingness to be made new. I release all that no longer serves, and I say yes to that which is arising. My true, divine, human beingness. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. So our affirmation for today is: on this day of Lent, I let go of shame. I embrace my Christ nature and shower myself with compassion and love. Can we know this together, please? On this day of Lent, I let go of shame. I embrace my Christ nature and shower myself with compassion and love. And so it is. Amen. If you want to write on your spiritual connection card what it is that you realize so that it can be held in prayer, please feel free to do so, and you can put those into the baskets, the offering baskets when they come around. I'm going to invite Deborah Winters to come on back up.
It's like the air around me. It's like sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. And I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was already there. Closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. It is health, health to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song I've been singing all along. I've been singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like sunlight on my face as I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, it was already there. Closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air.
Thank you, Deborah. Jeremy. And the Renegade Monks. And thank you, Reverend DeeAnn. It's time for giving and receiving, and the usher is going to be coming up shortly. We had a board meeting this past Thursday, and I'd like to invite Pete Abald to come up and give us an update.
Oh, boy. Wow, good morning, Unity. This is actually my first time up here. I'm sure it's not going to be my last. Well, first I need to say, it is absolutely a privilege and an honor to be on the board to serve this loving, incredible community that has held me for many years. Saying yes to be on the board is an absolute privilege for me. This past Thursday, we had a board meeting, as though we do every month, and I'd like to kind of bring you a little bit up to date on what we discussed. First, I want to thank all of those who have renewed your membership. It's great. And we had a great response to it, so thank you for doing that. Also, I want to confirm that our board of directors reconfirmed, and we approved the budget before, but we went through it, made sure there were no other objections or concerns about it, and we confirmed our budget for 2024. Also, I want to bring up, we also mentioned the 60th celebration and anniversary that DeeAnn brought up. And we have a committee that has been formed to pull together, the leadership committee to pull together the 60th. And I know they're going to need some help and some volunteers. So when they tap you on the shoulder, please say yes. And finally, on your calendar, please mark March 24th. Should be up on the schedule here. Here's your opportunity to come and meet the board members, ask your questions, and we will give you an update on our 2024 budget and where our vision and where we're going for 2024. It's going to be an incredibly exciting year. There is a lot of activities happening between now and the end of the year. So please come, and as you can see on the board, it's from 12 to 2 on the 24th. You can join in Zoom, or please come in person. Thank you.
Good job, Pete. All right, so ways to give. Church Center app, that's the easiest. All right, if you text, you can use Church Center app. QR code if you're live streaming. And there's also a QR code on your envelope. And on the giving envelope, put your name. So we know how to, recognize you in your giving statement. All right? And you can always put a check in the mail. Now, last week, I missed the service here, but I understand we did a reverse tithe. And how many of you participated in that? Okay, a few of you, good. And I'm sure the feeling of giving that to someone was just amazing. So before we do the offertory, I would like you to hold your donation in your hand. Hold it to your heart. And I want you to feel that same feeling that you had last week. And know that your donation really goes to support this wonderful community. And we have a offertory affirmation that I'd like us to say together. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. Doesn't that feel good? All right, ushers, please come up and let's welcome back Deborah.
There's nothing worth more than could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, God. Oh, I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and love becomes one. Oh, your presence, God. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts live for, to be overcome by your presence, God. Your presence, God. Oh, the love that I feel brings a fresh start in me. With the sweetest of loves, my heart becomes free. Your presence, God. Yeah, here we go. Now, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts live for, to be overcome by your presence, God. Oh, your presence, God. Hey, yeah. Now, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts live for, to be overcome by your presence, God. Oh, your presence, God. Yes, your presence, God. Oh, your presence, God. Well, there's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope.
Thank you again, Deborah. All right. Today at 11:30, we have our Unity and Marin Support Circle, facilitated by Barbara. Wave your hand, Barbara. Thank you. And they'll be right in the Candida Wright room. And this Saturday is the Quantum Living Process with Reverend DeeAnn, which she spoke about. It's a very powerful workshop. I've taken that and don't miss it. And then I'll have Reverend DeeAnn come up.
West Central Region is hosting our Key Leader event. So if you identify yourself as somebody who cares deeply about unity, if you are committed to unity being a thriving community, this is a Friday night on Zoom. So we're doing a diversity, equity, and inclusion evening on Friday night. Really interesting film called Traces of the Trade, a story from the deep north. So it's actually about a woman traced her family back and realized that her family living in the north had prospered off of the slave trade. And so it's this idea that it's only happened in the South. And so we'll watch the film on Zoom together, and then there will be a group discussion led by the filmmaker and Reverend Ken Ross from Unity of Sacramento. And then on Saturday, it's going to be in person at Unity of Vacaville, and it's going to be a whole day of just what does it mean for us to thrive? How does that work? How does that happen? We're designing it to be process-oriented. So please come. It's free. Unity in Marin is paying for everybody to come, so you have no excuse not to come. And you can come just for the Friday night, or you can come just for the Saturday, but please do register. When you register, you'll get an email after you register that says, please pay now. Don't do it, okay? Unity in Marin will be covering everybody from Unity in Marin. Does that make sense? Yep. All right.
Thank you. All right, and we have an affirmative prayer workshop, Saturday, March 9th. And you spoke about that earlier. So, Women's Drum Circle on March 20th. Is it? Yeah. It's a women's drum circle. Is there a men's drum circle anymore? Never was? All right. Unity in Marin prayer chaplains. If you can please rise. They're wearing the lovely white stole. After service, just tap one on their shoulder, and you'll feel the affirmative prayer in action. Thank you, prayer chaplains. And do we have young ones amongst us? Yes. And a little puppy.
So I'm going to invite everyone to stand. We have a blessing that we say for the youth that are here, the youth in our hearts, the youth of the world. We extend our hands and our hearts, and we say together, you are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. Stay standing.
So it is. Excuse me, we have our teens. So our YOU is coming back together. Cindy Hall is going to be leading that. So yay, teens. All right, let's say while we're up, let's do our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. Have Momo and Jeannie up.
Please join us. Let's rock this place.
Okay, I'm ready.
I feel a new day, down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
a new day.
I feel a new day.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I feel a new day.
I feel a new day.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I know my wholeness.
I know my wholeness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I know my wholeness.
I know my wholeness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I know my wholeness.
I know my wholeness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I am the oneness.
I am the oneness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I am the oneness.
I am the oneness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I am the oneness.
I am the oneness.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I claim the power.
I claim the power.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I claim the power.
I claim the power.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I claim the power.
I claim the power.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home.
Yes.
Happy Sunday, everybody.